So I had to shoot this video. I haven't even took a shower yet. I just got off work. But this dude called me and he tell me it's a client that I had that I fixed his credit. He told me that he just went and paid today 20 grand cash money for a vehicle. And he was celebrating. And he was like, man, it's all thanks to you, man. So I just want to say thank you. And this, I say, bro, don't put that on me. That was a dumb move, bro. Don't put that on me. That ain't got nothing to do with me. You made that decision on your own. That was not a good investment. That's a liability. That's not an investment, man. And so he was kind of took back. So I had to break it down to him. I say, man, if your mind was set on spending 20 grand, you should have at least turned that 20 grand into 80 grand. I say, if not that, you should have invested that 20 grand. I say that, bro, like you ain't learning nothing. And so I had to break it down to him. It's simple. If it was me, if you would have came to me with 20 grand cash, obviously, if you spent that on the vehicle, that can't be your last. You didn't go broke on the vehicle. If you did, you a dummy. Simple. Why would you? You couldn't have went broke. You could have had some more money. You had to have some more money if you couldn't afford to spend 20 grand on a vehicle. So I told him this. I said, this is what I would have did, man. I would have took that 20 grand. I would have went to Bank of America. I would have gave them that $20,000 and got me a secured credit card. I would have took that secured credit card and I would have went to Plastique and I would have liquidated that secured credit card. I would have took that 20 grand that I liquidated and I would have went to Chase Bank and I would have did the same thing. I would have gave Chase Bank 20 grand and got a secured credit card. I would have took that secured credit card and I would have liquidated that secured credit card and went to US Bank or Truist Bank and got me a $20,000 credit card, secured credit card with that. Now, I got 3 secured credit cards, $20,000, right? So I would have set back and I would have paid the interest on that money. I would have paid the little interest. I mean, I could have worked something to where I didn't have to pay that interest, the same method that I told you, that you change the statement date, you change the due date on your credit cards, and you just pay one off with the other. And you could have did that little play, or you could have just paid the interest. You see, and I mean not the interest, but the minimum payment. You could have just paid the minimum payment. That's like $200, and that $200 goes back to your credit card. So it's not like you paying that money and it's not being put on your credit card. You just paying your credit card. That's the minimum payment that you have to pay. That's 1% of $20,000. So anyway, you got 3. You let that season for like 10 months, and then 6 months. I'm sorry. And so after that 6 months, what you do is you take the Truist or either the US Bank, whichever one you use, you take that $20,000 credit card and then you liquidate it, and then you go pay off the Bank of America credit card. Once you pay that credit card off, that balance off, they're going to graduate that card from a secured to an unsecured. Once they graduated from an unsecured, they're going to give you your deposit back. That's the first thing they're going to do. They're going to give you your deposit back, and then they're going to graduate that card from a secured to an unsecured. So now you're going to get your 20 grand back that you normally deposited on that secured credit card. You're going to get that back, and they're going to give you a unsecured now credit card because it graduated. And then you're going to go to Chase Bank and you're going to do the same thing. You're going to pay that $20,000 credit card off with the same money. This the same 20 grand. You just recycling it. You ain't got 40, 60, 80. It's the same 20 grand. You're just recycling. Now you're going to pay off the Bank of America credit card. They're going to graduate that card. They're going to give you your $20,000 deposit back, and they're going to graduate that secured credit card into an unsecured credit card. And then you take that 20 grand deposit, and then you go to your last bank, which I said was Truist or US Bank, whichever one was last. It was Bank of America, Chase, and Truist or US Bank. All of these are top tier banks. That's why I named them. They top tier banks. And so you pay off these. You pay that card off, and they're going to do the same thing. They're going to graduate that card. They're going to give you your deposit and graduate that card to an unsecured. So now what do you have? You got your 20 grand back, and you got 3 unsecured $20,000 credit cards. You done turned $20,000 into $80,000. That's what I would have did with the 20 grand. Simple.